Hello and good afternoon. My name is Boule. I'm with OpsMx, and this afternoon I wanted to bring you through some of the ways that our Delivery Shield product can help you and your developers focus on the vulnerabilities that are most important. We all recognize the fact that vulnerabilities and the massive vulnerabilities that are out there, and any of us that have taken some of the standard tools and run scans recognize the fact that there are always a crush of vulnerabilities to consider. In this case here, we're talking about 1,900, a little more than 1,900 vulnerabilities. Obviously, this is overwhelming, right? When it comes to sort of remediation and sort of what you need to fix. And this is really where OpsMx is going to be able to step in with Delivery Shield and use the metadata that it collects and use the information that it has to help you better prioritize and get down to just the things that are most important. Now, as an example, the first thing I've done is I've gone through the process of saying, let me sort based on the OpsMx priority. Now, OpsMx obviously takes into account the severity provided by NVD through the CVSS v3 scoring. However, when we start to look at some additional data and we start looking at things like EPSS scores, i.e., is there an exploit, or if there is not, rather, is there trending toward there being an exploit for a given vulnerability? What is the CWE that is impacted, and does that matter to me? And so all this extra metadata that we're bringing on board and threat intelligence that we're bringing on board will help you and your developers make better decisions from a risk management perspective around what you want to consider in terms of fixes. So as an example, I might come in here, given I've got this large list of vulnerabilities, and the very first thing I might want to do is I want to say, okay, show me what's exploitable, right? Are there active? Show me the ones where there are active exploits or just POCs, right, for exploits that are out there in the public realm, right? So I can start down that list, right, and immediately, as I filter on that, I go from the 1,900 that I had to 173 vulnerabilities that I need to be paying attention to. These are the ones that are active. These are the ones that have exploits that are either POCs or are active exploits that people know about and are capable of exploiting based on my situation. Now, the other piece of this might be as I thumb through this is I might want to look at things like component or attack vector or the artifacts that are associated with this. One of the more popular is looking at the applications and sorting by that, right? But I think, again, when we look at this, in this case here, I'm going to look at technical impact, right? Is it total or partial? What are the ones that have a total technical impact, which is the most severe? And then let me filter it by that. And now, again, I've gone down and whittled down the list, right? To now I'm down to 59 when I look at of the vulnerabilities that are out there, which are really exploitable and represent the potential for a very large technical impact to my business. Then the other thing we can do is we can look at, I don't really care about the lows and the mediums, right? Because those are not something that I'm really that interested in. I just want to look at the highs and criticals. So again, let me go ahead and filter that. So just with a couple of filters, I'm down to the ones I know I need to fix, right? The ones that are most important in terms of me fixing. So again, I think that makes it very easy to sort of whittle that list down. And again, through adding that metadata, that data manipulation. The other thing that we get a lot of customers doing is they'll just say, show me the ones that are associated with current deployments. If for some reason, an artifact has a CVE in it, but the artifact is no longer deployed, does that really matter to me, right? So here I can simply just do this and get right down to a very short list of things now, because all the other vulnerabilities may have been in the past, may have been artifacts that are involved in artifacts that are no longer deployed. Again, this gives me that ability to go ahead and ultimately understand that. And again, I think what's most important is when I get into this and I start looking at these things, I can once again look at, is the attack vector over the network? And in this case, it's not. Is this found in the KEV catalog? In this case, it's not. The EPSS score is very low. So in this case, this does not pose a very large threat to me. The other thing that I can see here is the upgrade is fairly benign, right? So it's from 119 to 124. So again, something that I could take on as a developer very quickly and avoid this becoming security tech debt. So again, I think being able to set up rules, being able to set up our security alerts to reduce alert fatigue, to reduce the overwhelming nature of large numbers of vulnerabilities, and allowing our development staff and our security staff to focus on the things that are most important is really a pillar of how OpsMx's Delivery Shield helps you better manage your overall security profile.